Oh, how fun is that? I'm back in Nashville, which is where I was born, on Church Street. Nothing. Okay, welcome. Glad to have everybody here. Wow, a lot happened last night, huh? Now I know why you call it a monsoon. Last year when I arrived, and there was a thunderstorm once with lightning, and it was pretty in the sky, and I thought, why do they call this the monsoon? Now I know. Okay, let's begin by taking a breath and just shaking off all the busyness we've been doing this morning already. And let's just turn within and consciously open ourselves to the living Spirit of truth, which moves in and through us, connects us, and creates an experience of enthusiasm, excitement, expectancy, gratitude for this day, for one another. We thank you, sweet Spirit, and we open ourselves now. And so it is. Amen.
Please join us in singing I'm Stepping Out. It's in your bulletins. I'm stepping out into a world of possibilities. I'm stepping out into a whole new way to live. There's so much waiting for me. The path is clear before me. I've got so much that I have yet to give. I'm stepping out and I'm committed to integrity. I'm stepping out and releasing every fear and doubt. The road just keeps on turning, but every minute I'm learning what this life is all about. I'm stepping out. Let's repeat all of this again. I'm stepping out into a world of possibilities. I'm stepping out into a whole new way to live. There's so much waiting for me. The path is clear before me. I've got so much that I have yet to give. I'm stepping out and I'm committed to integrity. I'm stepping out, releasing every fear and doubt. The road just keeps on turning. At every turn I'm learning what this life is all about. I'm stepping out. I'm stepping out. I'm stepping out.
We have our opening statement. Usually we stand when we do this because I like the visualization of standing for what you believe in. And so if you're comfortable and able and would like to stand and recite this, we're more than reciting it, we're affirming it. Okay. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And our vision, a world of spiritually awakened hearts and minds. And our mission, we are creating a joyful community on the spiritual pathway to peace and love through fellowship, classes, music, and Thank you. And you can be seated. Joan Jennings is sharing our announcements today and the daily word.
Pray for others. I know the truth of each dear one I hold in prayer. What an honor it is to hold others in prayer. I am grateful for this sacred trust and use it to see beyond appearances, knowing they are temporary conditions. I focus on the unchangeable truth that each one for whom I pray is a divine being, a living expression of God. As I pray for others, I envision divine peace, calming thoughts, and strengthening faith. I see healing leading to the realization of wholeness. I pray divine love and wisdom create harmony in relationships, guiding every decision. I affirm divine order is established in every area in my life. I claim for them the zeal to complete everything that needs to be done. I then give thanks, grateful to bless others with the gift of prayer. Again, truly I tell you, if two of you agree on earth about anything you ask, it will be done for you by my Father in heaven. Matthew 18:19.
Please join us in singing our centering song, There's Only Love. It's in your bulletins. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love, and love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I think I've lost my way, I go inside and quiet my mind. I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. And love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
And there is only love. Intelligent love. The vibration of perfect peace. The impulse to praise and say thank you. Thank you for this awesome experience called life. Love does heal and harmonize and make whole. All things come round right. Because within this love there's divine order. And there is the power to create our highest vision. In this time of prayer and meditation, the thoughts we think have creative power. So right now, let us infuse everything with divine love, with faith, and with knowing the truth that sets us free. We are love in action. So let us take just a moment or two to affirm our health, our prosperity, our happiness, our growth and transformation. And as we meditate on these things for ourselves, we know that everyone is included, for we are one being. Thank you, sweet Spirit. We are grateful for these moments of remembering, reconnecting to the one presence and the one power that is only love. We lift our eyes now, saying yes to life and yes to being what we are called to be, which is no less than the light of the world. This is our prayer, and it is our decree, and so it is, and so we let it be. Amen, amen, and amen.
Daylight breaks, shining hope on the street. Misty morning air buzzing, boundless and free. For a moment all the pain and ache of life fades. Breathe in the newness of today. Step in time with me. Peel away scars of our history. Just below the dust, our masterpiece waits in glory. Daylight breaks, another night put to rest. For a short while the stars make their exodus. We spin endlessly on through our dreams and schemes, weaving life seasons through eternity. Step in time with me. Peel away scars of our history. Just beyond the road, our masterpiece awaits. Another chance, another dance to right the wrongs that we have done. Daylight breaks, the sun keeps rising, guiding us along. Daylight breaks, no matter how long we hold on to the hurt, for our masterpiece awaits. History just below the rough, our masterpiece waits in glory.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I know the big news this morning is the storm last night. That's the local news. On an international level and beyond, Richard Branson left the planet in his little rocket today. And I never watch TV in the mornings, and certainly not on Sunday morning. However, I got a little alert that came across my cell phone and telling me that this was taking place. I thought, well, they're probably saying something about it on TV. So I turned it on, and I got to see the big plane and then the shuttle disengage from that and go out into what they call the edge of space. And I'm going, educate me on that. Where's the edge of space? But anyway, go up, and they had a camera inside this rocket, and there were 2 pilots and 4 passengers, and of course his face was front and center. And then he made it back. He turned around, and I saw it land on the very airstrip that it took off. A short trip, but the first civilian to travel privately. And that happened in New Mexico, Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. So wow, what an amazing world. And that example could not speak to our power to manifest our dreams any more. Now, yeah, he's a billionaire. That helps. But he became a billionaire, and this was his lifelong dream, to be an astronaut, a civilian astronaut, and he achieved it. You know, when I was a teenager, I can remember my grandmother saying to me, well, what you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. And I thought, I didn't know she knew that. That comes from Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. Before he wrote that book, which sold over 100 million copies worldwide, he interviewed Andrew Carnegie about his wealth. And then he said, well, someday I would hope that I could be as wealthy as you. And Andrew Carnegie said, 3 times a day for a solid month, I want you to go and affirm that not only will you be as wealthy as I am, you will surpass me. He said, affirm it, think about it, feel it, see it. And he did. And he did surpass Andrew Carnegie. Do you know, I am a strong believer in visualization. You will see it when you believe it. Visualization, the power of visualization is the very crux of our creative power. And lots of individuals have approached visualization very seriously. Jim Carrey, everybody talks about Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey, before he became famous and wealthy, wrote himself a $10 million check every night before going to bed. Every night. And affirmed it. 3 years later, he starred in Dumb and Dumber. And he made exactly what was on that check. And it wasn't a $10 million easy number. It was 10 million something, something, something. And what he made was 10 million something, something, something. It was an actual match. Most of what goes on up here is autopilot. We're not thinking about what we're thinking. We're just thinking we're thinking. You know, and real thinking is not autopilot. It is focused attention. Research has shown that if you just focus your attention and visualize moving the muscles in your body, that is almost as effective as actual movement and strengthening your muscles. There's a story I remember from a long time ago when I was first in Unity, and all the Chicken Soup for the Soul books came out. I lived in Hawaii at the time, and Mark Victor Hansen, who's one of the authors, would come there all the time to vacation, and he'd always give us a little workshop, and that made it tax deductible for him, right? To come over and do that. But we got to know him, got to know his wife Patty, and Jack Canfield came. Jack Canfield says there are 4 benefits to visualization. But before I get that, I want to tell you a story of Chicken Soup and the Soul. It was about a man who was imprisoned in Vietnam for 6 years. And he was in a cage. And the cage was 4 feet wide and 3 feet tall. Now, I'm sure he was taller than that. Which meant basically all he could do was lay there. He'd always been an avid golfer, and he always wanted to break his score. So day after day after day, he lay there and played 18 holes of golf in his mind. Maybe you've heard this story. He would visualize every single thing. Picking up his club, standing a certain way, the smell of the grass, the breeze, everything as if he were on the golf course. At the end of that time, when he was free, he was a bit emaciated, but nonetheless, he was eager to get on the golf course as soon as he was able. And he did. And what he discovered is he had knocked 20 points off his game. He came in 20 points lower than what had been his habitual score. Now, I played golf for a while. Oh boy. I tell you, you pay all that money to chase that ball and watch it go in the water and just start all over again, you know? Oh, maybe I'll pick it up again one of these days after I practice my visualization. Okay, so the benefits are, number one, when we visualize, we activate the creative component of our subconscious. See, the subconscious doesn't think on its own. It takes direction from the conscious mind. So what we think in our heads, the subconscious goes to work on it. The subconscious has no filters. It has no ability to judge right from wrong, logical from illogical. It just takes its marching orders and starts to frequency match. So, whatever's in your subconscious, it's a result of thinking the same thing over and over and over again until it becomes automatic. Bless you. Until it becomes automatic. An automatic tape playing in your mind. The benefit of meditation is we stop thinking long enough to watch our videotape and to see what we've got stored in the subconscious. Whatever is in there is what we're going to see out there. The subconscious, you could say it's like the interface between our spirituality and science. Quantum physics shows this over and over and over again. And if I come back to this dimension, I'm coming back as a quantum physicist. I am fascinated by what they are showing scientifically that we've been teaching spiritually for eons. So those of us who like quantum physics know the classic experiment where the particle functions as a wave until you look at the wave and then it becomes a particle. Take your attention off and it becomes a wave. You look at it, particle. This is evidence of the impact of our minds and our hearts on the invisible substance, as Charles Fillmore, our co-founder, called it, the invisible substance. And again, it's impartial. It has no filters. The universe. You say you want a weed, you'll get a weed. Actually, that's love in action. You get exactly what you ask for. For God so loved the world that the world said, I want this, or I am this, I am that, and bingo. You shall decree a thing, and it shall be so. So what are we creating? We have the power to create anything. And we do it unconsciously on an automatic pilot. When we pay attention to our self-talk, we get a glimpse of what we're really creating. Do you know imagination, one of our 12 powers? Imagination is more important than knowledge. Imagination encircles the globe. Einstein said that. It's right there on that banner. Imagination. What can we conceive? And it's not enough just to think lofty thoughts. Do you believe it's possible? That's the subconscious. The mind conceives, the subconscious believes. That's the energy that frequency matches between what we're conceiving and what is out picturing in the world. Quantum physicists now say, well, we used to think that the universe was a mechanical thing that we could study. It's more like a great thought that changes. We are so creative. The subconscious, they say, is the great creator and the great governor. So whatever we feed our minds becomes automatic in our subconscious. Repetition is key. Not every thought I think is going to manifest. thank God. But if I think it and think it and think it and think it, yes, it will manifest. Now, the power of visualization is such that if you're working on manifesting something in your life, health, prosperity, a relationship, and all of that is part of prosperity. Let's just say money. You need money. You want to visualize that? Then visualize not from the place of I don't have, because there's no lack in God, to I'm experiencing, present tense, I'm experiencing my full prosperity now. The money I need, the resources I need, the desires of my heart are being fulfilled now. Because God doesn't live in the future. You want it? Ask for it now. Believe that you have received, and you will receive it. And then there's the achieve part. We all wish we could just lay in our beds and visualize exercising and having nice little bodies. You know? We all wish we could just visualize our way into ultimate prosperity. That's where it starts. But in order for our lives to change, in order for us to receive, we have to give ourselves to it in this dimension as well. We've got to work believing. When we affirm our good and visualize our good, the mind becomes entrained to that picture. And then because of that, you will start noticing things, opportunities in your life that you didn't notice before. There's something back here in the limbic brain called the reticular activating system. And it's the sort of thing that once you set your mind to something, you start noticing it. You know, I had a friend who had a Windstar van way back in the day. And I thought, that's pretty nice. Maybe I'll get me one of these. Never paid any attention to a Windstar ever. Next thing I know, everywhere I go, there's a Windstar van, there's a Windstar van. You start noticing. I said the subconscious doesn't have any filters. It can't judge right from wrong. It just accepts. Whatever we believe is the filter. And if something is showing up in your life and you're not believing, that doesn't fit your beliefs, you're not going to pay any attention to it. You're not going to see it. So this is how prayer changes things. When we pray affirming our divine truth. There is no negativity in God, and if there's no negativity in God, negativity doesn't really exist. So stop affirming it, right? I'm preaching to me too, you know. We have to stop affirming it and be conscious of what it is we want to have now. What kind of life do you want today? What needs to be released today? What is possible? And all things are possible. Right after Richard Branson's takeoff and landing, there was another story that researchers are very close to unlocking the keys to immortality. Think about that. Now that is scary. That would be great if you all agreed to it too. You know? If we all agreed to it too, to combine our creative ability to love one another, respect one another, rejoice in one another, it would be great to have immortality. And who knows, after that's unlocked, maybe we'll learn how to dance in two worlds. You know, I can visit other dimensions and come back and tell you all about it. And you can do the same. Can you imagine such a world? What you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. visualize all the good you can imagine in your life coming to you this very day. God bless you.
Please stand and join us in singing All That I Need. It's in your bulletins. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shine upon my face. All that I need comes to me. I've been set free, I'm released. I've been set free, I'm released. The burden of my past is gone away at last. I've been set free, I'm released. Sweet rain that washes me blue. Sweet rain that washes me blue. The mind creates all things, into my life it brings. Sweet rain that washes me clean. Let's hear Will. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shine upon my face. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me.
Beautiful. So Michael Gott, this is Michael Gott Sunday. He's an awesome songwriter and composer. He's a Unity minister and a CSL minister in Houston, Texas. Spectacular person. Okay, all that I need comes to me. So right now we're going to bless our offering and we're going to visualize the energy with which we are sending this offering. Because it's not the gift itself, it's the energy with which we give it that is the true gift. So when we give out of love and appreciation and the desire to create more of what we create here on Sunday morning, more of it here, more of it in the world, then that's what happens. Let's affirm together our blessing for our tithes and our offerings. Visualize it if you mail it, electronic funds transfer, or you've got it in your hand right now. Together.
Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful.
I thought about you all last Saturday. I took a road trip from Green Valley, Arizona to Scranton, Pennsylvania. A little light 2,500-mile road trip. I had a co-pilot. In Scranton, around every late June, early July, they do a music festival called The Peach. If any of y'all are familiar with the Allman Brothers Band, or Greg Allman or Dwayne Allman, it was started by them back when Greg was alive in 2012. He passed in 2017. Two of the other Allman brothers, his filial brother, Dwayne, we lost tragically on his motorcycle in the 70s. We lost their bass player, Barry Oakley, a year later after Dwayne, a block away on a different motorcycle. Last Saturday, Greg's kid, Dwayne's kid, Barry's kid, and 4 others all got on stage and sang their father's songs. It rained Thursday, it rained Friday, it monsooned Saturday. They got up and started singing their dad's tunes. The sun burst through the sky. Felt like God gave those 3 permission to come down and say, "How y'all greasy hippies doing? What's going on down here?" And they were just, I was grateful and all was well. It's one of my favorites by Greg Allman. Ties in pretty nicely with what Reverend Donna had to say today.
Last Sunday morning, sunshine felt like rain. The week before, things all felt the same. With the help of God and 2 friends, I come to realize I still got 2 strong legs, an eagle's wings to fly. Lord, I ain't wasting time no more. As time rolls by like pouring rain, much faster things, yeah. Lord, Lord, little Sally Mae, why you crying? Been around here 3 long days, looking like you're dying. Just step outside, look up at the stars above. Go on downtown, baby, maybe find somebody to love. Meanwhile, I ain't wasting time no more. As time rolls by like hurricanes, running after subway trains. Said you don't need no gypsy to tell you I know. Can't let one precious day slip by. So look inside yourself. If you don't see what you want, maybe sometimes then you don't. Leave your mind alone and just get high. Yeah, yeah. Many years are gone, and the masters of war all died off, leaving us alone. When our children and be to where we can, it's up to you and me, brother, to try and try again. Get outside, we ain't wasting time no more. As time rolls by like pouring rain, much faster things.
You get to listen, I get to watch his fingers. Pretty amazing, you know, pretty amazing. I had something else I was going to tell you, and it went out of my head. So I guess that's God saying, you've said enough. Okay, let us stand. And let us affirm together our prayer for protection, followed by the peace song. We've flipped these around. Okay. The prayer for protection. The
Light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. For wherever we are, God is.
And all is well. And I just remembered. If you are visualizing and affirming and you are in a state of emotional, gotta have, you know, it's a yearning, it's a longing, you're gonna repel. You're gonna repel what it is that you're trying to attract. Peace, be still, and know that your prayers are answered.